I don't know, man. It cut out. They cut me off. I didn't have any kind of internet disruption whatsoever. I just got cut off. Um, I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't do anything on my end. I was just taking pictures and using my phone to send a message to somebody, and next thing I know, system shut down. Not on my computer, on YouTube. I just got shut down. Period. Um, I wasn't even I, I wasn't even touching my computer at all, so there's no way I could have accidentally hit like end stream. Pretty sure I was taking pictures of stuff and then it ended. To be honest with you guys, this is a little unexpected. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back up on the screen over here. This doesn't fit the pattern. So right now, we should be in like this phase up. Oh, darn, edit, undo. Are you serious? I can't even undo? So we should be in this section right now, moving up in price, but it should only be half the distance of this downwards movement. So I would suggest that there's there's maybe it looks like to me, it looks like they're letting it release, but it's going a lot faster than they anticipated. So it's doing more than it should be. So they're gonna fight it back down here for down four, um, which should be coming up here pretty soon. Yeah, man, I got shut off hard. I mean, it was a quick shut off. I usually get warnings that I have low. There is nobody in my house today. I have zero competition with internet usage in my household. Everything is shut off. There's nobody here. I should have probably the best quality video stream that I have compared to ever. Internet didn't drop out on my side because I was still getting reporting on my on Webull live reporting, and I just got shut down. I got shut down somehow. So we've moved into step three, guys, of this Hilbert sine wave. We've moved into step three, and we're starting. It looks to me like we may be starting the backside, because if you'll notice here in this Hilbert sine wave, on the January to June run up, there's a stair stepping pattern in there. And to me, it doesn't look like we've had that. So we'll have to see what happens here with this. If the price jumps back down to about even to where it was down here, then we're already in step four. If it does a tiny little stair step and starts shooting back up some more, then there's just a lot of buying pressure right now. A lot of buying pressure. But we should move into that fourth stage. I might have to move my trampoline over more. They're onto my trampolines. But I think we should be in this circle right now. We've moved into step three. Um, the second half of step three, right? There's two halves. There's a down half, an up half, down half, up half, down half, up half, down half, up half, down half, up half. So again, this picture is of the January to June run up, and we're forming that same exact pattern currently on a daily, sorry, yeah, on a minute interval. And the whole thing about the Hilbert sine wave, I should write this in here. The whole thing about a Hilbert sine wave is, if it's happening on multiple time intervals, same time interval, it has to be same time intervals. And what you have to remember is that from January to June, it was very similar from June to where we're currently at this very moment. We're at the end of that June, same exact pattern that we had from January to June. So I just copied January to June because we know what January to June looked like. We don't know where June is going to end up because we haven't gotten there yet. So how do we get, so I took January to June, took a picture of it, and, we're doing that on the same time interval. Hilbert sine, sorry, I got to complete if I don't complete my thought processes, um, I don't finish. Hilbert sine wave. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't end the stream. Somebody ended it for me. Okay, so now they're fighting this down. They're fighting. This is very obvious manipulation here. What's going on here? Let's check out our Bollinger. Yeah, they're pushing this down hard. Volatility is starting to get a lot wider. $35.68 would be here. So again, pulling this back up. If we're moving into step 4, which it kind of looks like we are, then it shouldn't get much lower than probably this support line right here. Before moving into this fourth pattern of a move up, my trampoline's going to be way far out. I did a really poor job of guesstimating where the trampoline should be. This will be a pivotal moment right here, because I'm sure the hedge funds know that what this pattern formation does. So the fact that you can see that they're doing something extra, a little something something right here, right? A little something something going on right here. Let's see if we can't get this out of the pattern formation that it's trying to attempt to accomplish. So you're gonna see some kind of manipulation trying to affect the pattern formation. The question is, whether or not is this a pattern that just has to complete itself or not? Is the buying pressure, is the accumulation, that's probably the best word I can use, is the accumulation too strong? Let's see if they borrowed some more shares yet. Still no borrowing. Maybe they can't borrow anymore. Don't count my chickens. They know about the beer bet. What are you trying to say, JP? You tight with those hedge funds buddies of yours? All right. Give us our next upwards part, and I'll erase this. Looks like our completion of this fourth step right here is done, and it looks like we'll be moving on to this portion right here. I almost deleted it. That's not good. That's really bad. I'm sorry. I can't draw much better without circling that 4 right there. Oh, I'll just circle the 4. What the hell? We'd be moving into this phase right here. What the hell is that, Ivan? Is that a monkey with a hammer? Or you just happy to see me? Hilbert sine wave. the big D for daily. Wait, that's such a poor D. I gotta make that better. That's that's worse. I can't draw, guys. You know what's funny to me is that some of the best engineers that I ever worked with in my entire life are some of the best sketchers. Like they can really sketch something down like on a piece of paper, and I never had that. I just never had that ability to be able to sketch like they did, and I always thought like, oh, I must not be really, I must not be good at what I do, you know, because I can't sketch like they can. Some people are born with it, some people aren't. One thing you're going to learn about me, JP, eventually, is that I absolutely hate losing bets. I am not a betting man. And the only time that I really like to make bets is if I know I'm going to win. That's one thing that you're going to learn about me. Which is why whenever they pass around the whole football squares thing at work, and it's $1 to get into a square, and there's 100 squares, I pass every single time. And it costs you like $10 to buy a square. I pass every single time because you have a 1% chance to, well, actually, you have more than that because they do by quarters, but you basically have like a 4% chance of winning some money. And when you look at the odds and what your return for your investment is, your ROI, it's ridiculous. Like, it's just absolutely stupid. And it's commodity. The whole reason everybody plays those kind of games is commodity, and I get it, but I don't. I just don't like wasting $10 like that. Ah, now see, here comes the drive down. This is where it's going to start deviating from the picture. Pooping. Oh yeah, when I was saying like you might be right, you're right. I did start to wonder that if you were gonna beat me by a couple cents. I did start to wonder. Looks like this is gonna come down a little bit more. This is gonna definitely deviate away from the chart because you can see on this chart here, point 0.4 shouldn't be much lower than some of the other points like in here. So this is starting to deviate just ever so much here off of this chart. I'd say it's off by about where it started to turn around green should have been where it should have stayed green and gone up pretty hard about up to this level here. This green should have gone up really hard right about to that level and then had a quick reversal and then a takeoff. I'm gonna leave one leg over here just in case. Our trampoline's wobbly. I don't know about scared. There's a difference between worry and scared. I wasn't scared. It's a beer. It's a beer, JP. I wasn't scared. Absolutely. It would be awesome to have bragging rights. In fact, Stonkmaster is going to be able to walk away this week with I kind of wonder if he didn't look at my price prediction before he gave his, because I put in a price prediction of 35 to 38, and the only way that I could beat Stonkmaster was as if he picked a price that was different than mine, and he came in with the exact same price as me, with 35 to 38 being the price range that we would close in today. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But he's gonna ultimately, nobody can beat him now, so he's gonna be the winner for the week for the price for the points. Max Payne today is 36. I did mention it, but that's okay. I'll mention it again. It's time to go over it anyways. It was 37 for the last 3 days, and then today it was 36. It's time to go over technicals anyways, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm blinding you guys, sorry. Let's switch it. Okay, currently into the off exchange, there's 59.76% traded into it. The borrowed change amount is currently at 202.9. That's less than it was an hour ago. It was just 205, which is going to probably not really do much to the short share interest, which is 16.8. Highest level of options. I wonder if this, sometimes I wonder if these are traps because they really got it to raise quite a bit for a $36 call strike price. There's currently, it went from, I don't know, probably just a little over 10,000, 12,000 options, call options to 53.2 at $36 strike price, and it's now up to 61.4. The puts, on the other hand, at a $35 strike price have gone up from 15.2 to 18. Fidelity currently showing AMC in 10th position for highest most traded stocks on their platform. 66% buy orders to 34% sell orders. GME currently in 24th position with 73% buy orders to 27% sellers. I am always impressed with their buy order ratio. They always have a very impressive buy order ratio. Like it's like very high 60s or low 70s, sometimes even more. But it's so impressive. I feel like the diamond hands and GME holders is way stronger than AMC holders. If Bad Back wanted to hear me say anything positive about GME, I would have that to say for sure. I mean, it's remarkably different. On the call side, there's 7,000 contracts in the money on the calls, 71,000 contracts out of the money on the puts. Still a really staggering high, 213 on the out of the money calls. Um, Nasdaq is up 0.05, Dow Jones up 0.22, S&P 500 up 0.1. Market's declining over advancing with 3,810 decliners to 3,252 advancers. Robinhood is down 1.12. Amazon is down 2.83. Cinemark is down 4.09. Doge down 4.22. GameStop down 0.16. And we are up 0.57 with a 27-point spread between the outflow and the inflow. 24.3 million shares traded for the day today. 24.3. I bet you something started. What crazy? Go tell me what stock started spiking recently. There's got to be something spiking right now. 24.37 million shares traded so far. Let's see. $2.15. We're on pace for 44.2 million shares traded for the day today. On a 1 hour interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 51.27. On a 30-minute interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure with 52.06 as RSI. And a 5-minute interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 47. So all three of those looking like it's trying to head back down some more here. I love the games. I love the games. Makes me laugh. Wow. Okay, so Bill Ackerman just tweeted, "We are continuing to dance while the music is playing, and it is time to turn down the music and settle down." That was his tweet. He tweeted that at 10:36 this morning. I'm assuming that's Eastern Standard Time, and if it is, then that would have been 9:36 my time, which would have been like like right after market open, basically. Bill Ackerman. For those of you who do not know who Bill Ackerman is, because I knew the name, but I actually really didn't know who he was. But it says he's an American investor and hedge fund manager. He's the founder and CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management, a hedge fund management company. His investment approach makes him an activist investor. Bill Ackerman. I want to see Pershing Square Capital Management. Let's check that out on. Let's see if they own anything against AMC. Nothing there. What about Berkshire Hathaway? Hmm. Neither. So what do they own? Pershing Square. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm just doing a little DD. I want to figure out what the heck's going on here. Some. Wait, really? Because I'm showing 10:36 a.m. is what it's showing. So where does it show how long ago it was? Oh, I see 1 hour. Okay. He tweeted an hour ago. So where was an hour ago? Um, we're at 10, 13, 13, 14 right now, according to this. So somewhere in here. Listen to this. This is actually this is another portion of what he tweeted. I actually didn't scroll to the top apparently. His original post 1 hour ago says, I gave a presentation, NewYorkFed.org Media Library, which I will copy and paste for you guys. Copy link address. There's the report in case you want to read it, where he basically says, to the he gave the report to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York last week to share our views on inflation and Fed policy. The bottom line, we think that the Fed should taper immediately and begin raising rates as soon as possible. And then that's when he came in with his tweet a little while later saying, we are continuing to dance while the music is playing, and it is time to turn down the music and settle down. So here's something I'm gonna save this picture. I'm gonna save this picture. I'm gonna take a new one. What do we? Let's call this. All right, so what I want to do is I want to drive out to the day mark again, and this time I'm going to take a picture of our current position. So the one I took before that had all those numbers drawn out before was this time frame right here. This time I'm going to take a picture of this one. I apologize. I may be having some kind of internet dropout here. Not much I can do about it. You'll have to hang with me. Okay, the reason that I took this daily picture, this is June to current. The reason I took a picture of this one is because I wanted to kind of take a look at it in contrast and see how that compares to our current formation versus January's formation. Yeah, see this part right here is weak. Very, very weak compared to what we actually did on the date on the minute interval. And then if I pull up the other picture, it's not weak. It's very strong right there. I mean, it's undoubtedly the turnaround right here should have been here. So all this extra right here, this is all not supposed to be here. Like all this right here. I don't know why I just did this. I can just all that shouldn't have been there. But there's nothing in the Bollinger that would have me believe that there is like specific manipulation, like hard manipulation. It's just that volume's so low. Crazy, did you figure out what the stock is? It's maybe his did you ever look up to see maybe I didn't see your post. Did you ever look up to see what stocks are running today? I'm kind of curious. I hadn't heard from you about that today, and so I'm just kind of wondering what's going up right now. But I can pull it myself too. Actually, I think Duncan sent me. Where is it at? No, he didn't send that to me. If low price and let me just I'll check and see here. One of the best I think this is a good place to check it. Let's look for something kind of weird, something that stands out. Nothing really. Maybe this Guard Force AI. Let's check that out. Low price, high volume. That's a dump. That's a heaping dump right there. So that's not stealing volume. That's actually a sell-off. So that's not it. There's nothing else that really stands out with high volume. I mean, today looks like it's just, oh wait, I didn't sort by volume. Um, Medics is up 12.65 penny stock. What's up with US Steel? What's going on there? Volume 54 million, average volume 21. So it's just, I mean, they've already doubled their average volume, more than doubled. Their free float's 267, and they've already traded like, basically a quarter of their free float and just a little over half the day. That could be drawing some attention, but I really don't feel like there's just one that's like standing out. What's the cryptocurrencies doing? Let's check those out real quick here. I don't have those. I have to go to my phone, guys, for that because have never figured out a way to look on it on Webull from the computer, and it just doesn't pop up easily. Whereas on my phone, there's like a real easy way to find it. 5%. I'm not seeing like anything that like stands out, like jumps out. There is BAT USD. I'm not sure what that is. That's up 22%. Safe Moon USD. Really? That's up 45%. And MVI USD also. What the heck is a Safe Moon? What the hell is that? Never even heard of that before. Well, I know it's a crypto. I'm looking at cryptos, but I mean, I've never even heard of it before. No, I'm looking at only cryptos right now. They're all cryptos. There's another one here called MVI USD. There's SafeMoon USD, MVI USD. Those are both kind of running high, like above 20%. And then I think there was one other one. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that like jumps out at me and is like, I don't know. SafeMoon's kind of high, but I don't know. It just maybe investors aren't willing to put money in right now. Wall Street Crime and Punishment, Christian Meeson and his penny stock pump and dump games. Wall Street Crime and Punishment is a weekly series by Benzinga's Phil Hall, chronicling the bankers, brokers, and financial ne'er-do-wells whose ambition and greed take them in the wrong direction. Hmm. Okay, here it is. It was the LCID. 185 million in volume. It's not up a whole lot. Actually, no, it's down. You're right. You're right. It's down. That looks like more of a sell-off than anything. Day over day, it's up, but it's down for the day. I'm gonna move my trampoline back over here. Ain't getting no love. I gotta scrub. I gotta scrub trampoline. The doctor's saying there are a lot of penny stock pump and dumps on Twitter. Crazy part is being registered. I can't even send a letter to a client without having it approved. These guys just pretend to advise. All day long and nothing happens to them. Oh, I didn't say I didn't have my data back up here. Sorry, guys. I was telling my wife yesterday. I don't remember when it was. I think it was yesterday that I was like, man, I can't wait for us to get to $90 because that's when I'm shaving this beard off. I just cannot wait. $90, guys, and I'm walking away from the computer, and I'll come back and you're gonna see a fresh, clean face on this guy because this beard crap is killing me. It is absolutely killing me. I hold this beard to show you guys that I have conviction. If I can hold this beard, I can hold this stock. If you can dodge a car, you can dodge a ball. Essentially, that's what it comes down to for me. If I can hold this beard, then I can hold this stock. I don't care. I don't care if it drops below 90. I have to have limits. I have to have limits, doctor. I have to have limits. And one of those limitations is that I have to um, shave this beard at 90 because I won't be able to take it any longer. Boy, man, this is a perfect example. Okay, so we're really deviating very far away from this picture that I had. So we got to step four. We got to step four right here. It started to turn around, and this would have been the up portion of it right here. And we should already be into the late stages of five. But we got into step four right here, and ever since that point in time, it's just been decline ever since. And um, I don't know. I mean, it really looks like this was a let's set the options. We'll get the options to pump up and then set them and then drop the price. This feels very suspicious of a money grab. Oh, absolutely, absolutely crazy. 100%. But I mean, I feel like more what you have here is an attempt to try and screw the option players out of some money. And I've been warning people for a while now, right? Like, don't play the options. That's just you playing against the house. Buy the shares because they're so much more valuable than the options will ever be. And if people continue to, there is something to be said about trying to drive up the price through options. But the problem is that we're continuously losing on a very regular basis. So try to minimize that until we can get the price running up again. I think the first thing is we really need to start seeing hedge funds start loaning shares again. Because as it stands right now, all they're doing is returning shares. So if they continue to just return shares, then at some point we're gonna start getting into a problem to where it's gonna start looking like they're returning shares, dropping price. People are just folding their positions. That's the kind of situation that eventually it'll start looking like. So the sooner that we can get them to loan more shares, the the likelier that we'll start seeing price increases. It's really those failure to delivers that start stacking that really cause those cycles to kind of pop off. And of course, DRSing I don't think really helped. I don't think DRSing they took shares out of out of play, and so hedge funds that lowers volume when you start taking shares out of play, and so it lowers volume, and when you lower volume, it doesn't force the hedge funds to create liquidity because the volume's already low. No, there's nothing. There's nothing there, so they don't have to borrow shares for liquidity. And so what we really need to do is we really need to make sure that they're borrowing shares. That's big. Super, super important. But, red and blue line. Blue line's 20%, red line's 21.5% down from 44.44, one of our last previous highs. And a big jump up in price does two different things, right? It causes options players to start buying a bunch of options, and it also gets investors really super excited. You drop the price, you get it back down into that 20% drop zone, and psychologically you start punching us in the face. And they're going to continue to punch us in the face over and over and over. If they keep finding more paper hands in here, they'll keep punching. Yeah, it's greed, Sandy. It's greed. If they throw out enough shiny objects out there, enough people will start leaving. And yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. Not until I start seeing them cover significantly. If I start seeing them cover significantly, then I'll start consider selling. But I still haven't seen that yet. How many times have I told you, old man? Round two, fight. I have not. Let me check and see. Actually, if you have a link to it, let me put you up there as admin for a second, and you can post it up for us. If not, I'll see if I can find it. Did you say CNBC? Because I think I found it. Yep, I found it. How the apes cracked Wall Street. It's a 50-minute video. Maybe we should watch some of it. I don't know. What do you guys think? You want to see it? It's about Matt Kors. It's 49 minutes long. That's the one I have. Let's do it. Let's listen to it. Let me put it up on here. I don't mind stealing from the media. It's other YouTubers I won't do. Oh, man. Come on, play.
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can be good at just $15 a month. So, as Mint's new owner, I brought in one of our first...
I really didn't want to hear that. How small can I go? Let's put it down here, shall we?
The ape movement, the ape revolution. It's there.
Oh, I know who that is.
We're really seeing the apes stepping up.
There's Matt.
And I think it's absolutely awesome.
We are the freaking market of the apes,
There's
developing
Trey.
before the Wall Street guys who thought they could win this, who thought their ego and pride would be able to slam us back down to planet Earth.
We're fighting for a fair market against the hedge funds.
The apes, they're insatiable.
Across the country, millions of people are connecting online in a digital uprising.
It's the populace versus the elitist. It's the 99 versus 1. It's the David and Goliath story.
They call themselves apes, as in dumb apes or the dumb money. This is the battleground of a multi-million-dollar war between Main Street and Wall Street in the fight to save a 100-year-old movie theater company from bankruptcy.
I am in the AMC movement.
We're fighting against the impossible.
I'm an ape because the system is corrupt.
What we're holding for is that disruption.
We're just dumb old apes.
And together, we are strong.
When we stick together, they don't know what to do.
And it's working. And that's so cool.
And they're shook in their goddamn seats.
Emboldened by the run in the stock and deeply distrustful of MSM, or mainstream media, they rely on each other and a handful of charismatic social media influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, YouTube?
Here we are. Let's do this thing, Moon Gang.
Any great change that comes in the world didn't come quietly. It came with noise. It came with blood.
There's so many people who very much...
Aw. See? This is me in a nutshell. Oh, man.
want to fight for market fairness and transparency.
And sure, the apes may want to change the way Wall Street works, but they also want to make money. Big
Take care, JP.
I made $1 million on...
Peace out, brother. Oh, man.
on call option profit.
This army of investors have put Wall Street on alert. Short sellers have already lost billions and recast the retail investor as a force to be reckoned with.
I never heard of a company on the New York Stock Exchange that was owned 80% by retail investors. I instantly knew that we should be talking and communicating with them.
Even the SEC has taken notice.
We'll take a look at this and get public comment and then see how we might freshen up our rules.
Despite the skeptics,
the ones that are going in there and saying,
oh man, it's so painful, guys. I don't know if this is gonna, this might end my stream. I'm afraid this is going to end my stream if I keep this up. I don't know. Yeah, this is probably not going to work out. Well, I'll put the link up there so you guys can watch it. Abort, abort. There you go. There's the link to it. Oh, you know what? I may not actually got the whole link. Let me make sure I get it all. Sorry, that don't click on that link. That was a bad one. Remove. There we go. Yeah, I would watch it. It's probably worth watching. Definitely probably inspirational, you know, giving us a little bit of hope here. A little bit of hopium. You know, one of the things that I found kind of interesting is that, irregardless of whether or not, you know, if you talk to a financial analyst and you tell them about what's going on, most of them know what's going on now. But back when, you know, this was all first starting up, and if you would have talked to a financial analyst, and they were being totally honest and truthful with you, they would have said, "I think it's a terrible play. I don't think you should do it." And they would say, like, you know, nobody has ever gone up against a company like Citadel or any other really big hedge funds that are out there and won. And but you know, but at the same breath, they would sit there and say something to you of the fact that they would love to see it happen. They would love to see it happen, but they've never seen it happen before. So it was always kind of interesting to me that you know, there's definitely, we have a lot of people who are rooting for us. You know, even though there may be financial advisors who don't think that this is a good play, they're definitely rooting for us. And you know, I think that says so. I think that says something. It says something about our movement. It says something about um, the people that, you know, we're up against. Um, I don't know. I think it talks loudly. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you posting that in there. Um, and welcome back, by the way. It's good to see you. How's the ankle going? Ankle doing pretty good? Just out of curiosity. That's rough, man. That's a long healing process. Um, I hope you feel better. I hope that thing gets fully back to normal use. I was working with this one guy, well, actually, it was probably about a little over a decade ago, and he went to a skate park with his son. I think he was probably right around 40, 45 years old, around the age I am right now, and he just I guess he just kind of stepped off the edge, and the half pipes, or the part of the skate park, the cement part, his foot came down and hit like kind of the curvy part here. So his foot, instead of hitting flat land like this, his foot came down and hit an angle kind of like this, and completely shattered his because all of his weight was on the one foot, shattered his ankle. He had to go in for surgery. That he showed pictures at work of it, and they basically had like just massive amounts of pins that were put in there, and it was just bone shattering everywhere. It looked like a bomb went off in his ankle, and poor guy. I mean, he ended up recovering from it, but he walked kind of funny afterwards. No offense, Mark. Hopefully you don't walk funny afterwards. Yeah, see, I was a little worried when I first did my price prediction this morning. I was gonna do. You've been walking funny a long time. Okay. Well, then just more normalcy for you. Or maybe it'll fix you up and you'll walk normal now. You should have told the doctor to break the other ankle. Let's see. When I was doing price predictions this morning, I was going to do 36 to 39. Actually, I think I was going to hedge on 38. So I was going to do 36.5 to 39.5. And then I started thinking about it a little bit more. I was like, you know what? I really feel like that $35 level is something that they might try to close us at, or just above it by the end of the day. Just kind of based off of, where is it? Let me show you guys. I'll show you what it was that I was looking at. That got me thinking down that line. Let's see if I can. I didn't realize that I had moved Market Watch quite a bit. Or not Market Watch, I'm sorry. Tradingview. I moved this around too much. It's not showing the same thing I was looking at earlier. I think this is it though. So this is kind of the pattern I was looking at earlier this morning. And I thought, there's a strong possibility that we might close out the day somewhere around like in this range here, which would be $35. Right? And because this is the pattern from, that I copy and pasted over, from late May. But I thought, there's a good chance that we might have a run up in the middle of the day, kind of, and then close around like $35. And so I was like, I want to get the price prediction right. And so I thought 36.5 might be too high because we might actually drop down a little bit. So, and then sure enough, here we are dropping down some. So, that's why I changed my price prediction to 35 to 38. just to show you, JP, what it was I was looking at when I said I didn't think it would drop much lower than 34. I was looking at this right here before we started the market open, and I saw that the dip on this was only going to go down to probably about 34.5, which it went just slightly. It looks like it actually was right on 34.5. But so that's why I felt like there was some pretty good breathing room on $34 because that would have been a pretty big drop to deviate away from this chart. So that's what I was looking at earlier. But it's still possible. Anything is possible with this stock. Hold on a second here, guys. My wife is asking me for an order for food. She's gonna grab me something. Yeah, absolutely. We've been here definitely before. I mean, that's where we started out the day, right? We started out this day dipping right below this 34.88, and I kind of told you guys that anything below that would be a little bit of paper hands going on, and I think there were some paper hands, and I think they let this release a little bit. I think they wanted to kind of trap some players in here for options, and then a little bit of psychological discouragement as they drop this price back down in. I mean, they were following. It's very possible. Like Crazy Pepe says, don't you think they know what the signs are that they're trying to avoid? And I would definitely agree with that. So when I put up this right here and I say, this is the sign, the Hilbert sine wave that I was talking about here, where we're matching that pattern. This is the run up from January to June on a daily interval, right? And it was matching very, very similarly to what we had going on right here. The only deviation is at this point right here, right? We were in that 4 point, and the price should have shot pretty sharply back up to at least the levels of about here, and instead it took a turn for the for going down. So the fact of the matter is that we were following the Hilbert the whole thing behind the Hilbert sine wave is that we're following the pattern of an interval that happened on a much larger time basis. So it's irregardless of the fact that it didn't complete the formation, it still did a very large portion of the same exact pattern on the daily. And and here they are dropping the price right back down underneath that 20% 20% mark down from 44.44 our last high. So fishing for more paper hands. That's all they're doing. I gotta pull up my order for food for my wife real quick. Hold on a second here. Okay. Let's see. We got time for a little technical analysis. Let's see what we got going on here. Currently in the off exchange, we have 59 point. Oh, I didn't update that one. I was like, wait a minute. That was what it was an hour ago. Okay, currently traded into the off exchange 59.93. It's slightly up than where it was an hour ago. It looks like we're showing about 234.8 thousand shares returned. That is slightly more than it was an hour ago. It was 202.9 earlier. Ever so slightly. It's going to decrease the estimated short share interest. Actually didn't decrease it. It's actually the same, 16.8. And taking a look at our highest level of volume, at a $36 strike price, it went from 61.4 an hour ago to 66.8. On the put side, volume went from 18 to 20.5 at a $35 strike price. Fidelity, AMC has moved into 9th highest traded stocks on the list from 10th an hour ago with a very good level of buying to selling ratio of 66 to 34%. GME was, I think, 24th an hour ago. Has slipped to 26th, but they have still a really strong high buying to sell ratio with 72 to 28. Man, I wish we had those kind of numbers. When I say we, I'm talking about AMC. My mom hates it when I say we, they. Okay, how many shares have been borrowed in the last hour? None. Zilch. Zero. Nothing. 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 Boy, I gotta watch this later tonight. It's kind of odd. 7,000 contracts in the money for the calls, 71,000 out of the money contracts for the puts. This number is really high still. Taking a look at the market, we currently have an advancing market ever so slightly on each one of them. NASDAQ up 0.03, Dow Jones up 0.17, and S&P 500 up 0.07. But the overall decliners to advancers is definitely declining. It's 3,747 to 3,333 advancers. And Robinhood is down 1.31. Amazon is down 2.69. Cinemark is down 3.71. Doge is down 63. GME is down 0.68. We are down 0.45. And our outflow to inflow is a, let's see, 25, 24 plus 5, 29-point spread between the two. 29-point spread, and yet we're pretty much breaking even in price. Beautiful. Insane. Insane in the membrane. We are currently on a pace to trade about 37.8 million shares for the day today. That is going to be a little bit higher than my prediction. I had said 10 to 30 million shares traded for the day today. We'll see where that ends up. I can feel JP like just really wanting a beer, which is insane to me that he would want a beer that bad to see the price drop down to under $34. But I can feel it. I can feel him breathing down my neck. Let's see here. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to go to break, JP. You can't live on both sides of the coin, unfortunately. That's how life works. On a 1 hour interval. Oh, it's about ready to cross over to more selling pressure than buying pressure, and RSI is at 46.7, 47.1. There's definitely room for it to continue to move down. On a 30-minute interval, it's already just crossed over in the last 30 minutes with an RSI of 47. And on a 5-minute interval, way more selling pressure. Well, not way more, but there's more selling pressure than buying pressure with a RSI at 39, 38.86 and dropping. Looks like we're going down to about 35 bucks. There's a little bit of a support wall at 35. There's another support wall at 34.80 and one at 34.75. The sell order side is pretty weak in contrast. You can see the difference in the walls here. Yeah, I wonder what interest rates being raised is going to do, because I'm not really sure what kind of effect that would have on the market. Well, I mean, I would expect to see a bearish market at that point with interest rates being increased, but I'm not exactly sure like how that works or how it will impact the market in general. But let's look it up. Doesn't really say exactly. I mean, it tells like at least the page I'm looking at right now. It tells like what happens to everything else but the stock market. I mean, it just basically affects the borrowing costs, which means that it's harder to borrow money. I mean, the obvious things, but it doesn't specifically talk about like how it directly impacts the market. I mean, obviously, if you can't borrow, it's hard to grow. Yeah, to me it seems like that would be signs of a. How do you raise interest rates right now though? Like I feel like there's a lot of struggling businesses out there. you guys talk with me about this because I help me to understand this. Like, don't you feel like an increase in interest rates is going to starve a lot of growth in the economy? I really feel like that's what it would do, and it seems like such a bad time to be doing something like that. I don't know. I mean, unless you wanted to force a market change, a market correction. I don't know. Maybe I mean, I guess quite personally, I would like to see that happen, but it's kind of odd. It's like the opposite reaction you'd think you would have to tough times. Well, the good news is, guys, is that we've already surpassed our volume from yesterday, which wasn't hard to do because yesterday we had 23.7 million shares traded. Today we're already at 26.9, so that's good. We've actually beat we've beaten the last 2 days. We'll probably beat the last 4 days pretty easily, I would think. I would think that we'd probably be able to beat Monday through Thursday in volume. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Is this a descending parallel channel? Or is it a wedge? Because it looks like a wedge. Falling price. Falling volume. Avoid this bitch. Sorry. I had to say it. Avoid that trampoline. This is just gonna absolutely piss JP off to no end. Yeah, I'm gonna put the trampoline right here, JP, so there's absolutely no way that it's gonna be able to cross through here and hit your number. In fact, it looks like it's gonna break out here. Oh, that's right, JP signed off. Oh, JP signed off. Darn. I completely forgot. I don't know. I hope he gets to see this tomorrow or some point. I hope he gets home or something and gets to see this. Don't forget we have earnings report on Tuesday next week. You can see you can see how the volatility has died down quite a bit here, based off of how tight the two. So this is the Bollinger. Why can't I think of what the name is now? Bollinger Band. I don't know why I always forget the name. Bollinger Bands right here. So I got to think of bands when I think of this. Bollinger Bands. I have them set for a 3 sigma. I think normally it's set comes, is supposed to be on set on a 2 sigma, but I want it to capture pretty much like 98% of the data on the inside of these, and anything that's outside of it would be abnormal. So if price suddenly starts jumping up really quickly, volatility would have to be there in order for it to, happen. So you should start seeing these exponentially start growing outwards away from each other. We are moving towards the exponential moving average, which is the blue line. And with that, guys, it's break time for me, so I'm going to go ahead and head to break here. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Hold on a second. Actually, I'm going to wait a little bit to go to break. My wife's picking me up some food, so I'll probably wait for her to get back with that so that I can eat in peace instead of eating in pieces. Boy, this is volume. They just dried this volume up completely. Look at these values in here. You can't see it. Let me get rid of a couple things here. So what I'm pointing out to you guys is look at the single digits, the ones, the fives, the twos. Those are attempts to try and clear the price between clear the gaps between some of the prices so they can drop the price easier. Man, I'm tired. I'm so tired right now. I'm like barely hanging on here. It's like, I need food. It's gonna put me in a food coma. I'm gonna come back from break, have my beer, and pass out on you guys. It's been a long week. It has been a long, long week. You guys have any you have any plans for the weekend? Anything exciting going on, or any kind of cool things that you want to throw out there that you're thinking about doing? I don't know if I have anything personally. I would like to go see another movie. Not just saying that just because of AMC or anything, but I do have the James Bond movie I still haven't seen yet. There was another one. What's the other movie that I'm missing out on? Yeah, I know. And honestly, honestly, Ivan, that's probably built on purpose that way. Let me see. There was a specific movie that I wanted to see. I know one of them was James Bond, and I haven't seen that one yet. Um, Dune. I'm not really that interested in. It must have been. It must have been. That's the only one that I see on the list here. Yeah, No Time to Die. When you say a boat ride, Salty Dog, do you mean like like an ocean boat ride, or like what do you mean by like a boat ride? Like I don't know what that means. And cool that you got 2 gigs going on. That's awesome. I really never thought about like just doing like a boat ride in general. You know what I mean? Like I never thought about unless I guess they do have those like power boat tours where they like take you around at like really fast speeds up like a river sometimes. Those look actually really intense. And then they have like the Everglades, right? Like I know you're down in Florida. I guess that would be a boat ride you could do. One of those what do they call those things? I don't even know what they call them. The boat slash big old fan on the back thing of it. Looks like it could take off if it just had some wings. Swamp, a swamp. What do they call those? Swamp something. Oh, airboats? I didn't know that's what they were called. Airboats. I'd actually like to do that sometime. An airboat in the Everglades. Dude, I bet that water is just so nice. I bet it's so nice. Like, how do you get anything done? Like, you must force yourself to like do things, like other than like going out in the water, like actual like work around the house. I would, I mean, it depends on how close you live to the water, but if I lived like really close to the beach, I would have a hard time getting anything done in the house because I'd just be like, you know what? Screw it. The dishes can do themselves later. And I'd walk down to the beach and like head out in the water or something. A 26-foot sea fox. That sounds pretty cool. I gotta look that up now. Oh, sounds like my lunch is here. All right, guys. Normally I'm back by 2, but I'm probably gonna come back by 2:10 today. Just because I guess spend the 40 minutes eating and relaxing, and there's not a whole lot going on anyways. But dang it, I really hope we can bounce off this trampoline and. You've done the airboat ride at Alligator Farm in Homestead, Florida. That sounds like fun, man. I would love to do that sometime. Hopefully, we break out of this, this downwards trend here. I'm gonna have to open up this just a tad bit because we really didn't break out of it. Hopefully, we break out of this trend here and push up really strong. We'll get a little accumulation going. All right, guys. I'll see you back here in about 40 minutes. Okay, guys, I am back. Oops, let's cut the music out there. So it's time, you know what time it is. It is time to do the toast of the hour. And what I like to do on Fridays is everybody who's subscribed for the week, I like to give a shout out to them and recognize, you know, the new family members that are here, part of the family, so that when you see them, or if you see them around, or if I see them, to help me to memorize the names, that I just kind of shout them out and I write them down. I'm still in the process of doing it. So let's see here. I think I'm done. Yep, that should be the last of them for the list. Yes, it is. Okay, I got them down. So let's go ahead and let's crack open a beer here and do a cheers to some of the new family members. I haven't read what you guys have written yet here. There's my bottle opener. Let's see here. Crack this open. For those of you who are new to the channel, you can always go to the description box. There's a lot of good information in there about some of my golden rules, certain levels of participation as an ape. If you're new to apehood, you know, kind of where I stand on everything. You know, if you want to get to know me or some of my beliefs about what's happening with AMC, it's all there. And you know, so anyways, having said all that, let's toast to JC Portillo, Joe Hernandez, and Jake's Orquina. Thank you for being a part of the family, and hopefully we get to see you guys in the chat section area. Don't hide. I like participation. So, cheers to our new family members. We did a nice. I can't say we hit down on the trampoline here, but I am going to move this trampoline over because I really don't want JP winning the bet today. So I'm going to move this on over here to right about like this, and hopefully try to avoid any kind of down pressure with my trampoline here. It's like I actually believe this is something that'll work. I don't know. Why not? All right, there it is. It's up. The trampoline is up. We broke outside the wedge. We did head up because volume was falling and price was falling. That's a descending wedge, which with the indicators that the price should be moving out when it breaks up, and it did. Go ahead and trash that. What an interesting day today. I mean, it actually hasn't felt interesting. If anything, it felt excuse me, it felt a little disappointing. But you know, it would have been nice to see the run up to the 3663 to continue on. We had this nice little scooping action here, and I do want to mention that in the past we have typically seen scooping points before a takeoff. So you know, there was a nice little scoop action there. You could almost say there's a scooping action kind of going on right now as well, possibly leading up to maybe another big push. Who knows? We'll see. But it is time to do a little technical analysis. Our last one for the day, for the week. Closing this week down in good fashion. Yeah, I wanted to run up to 38 too. Would have been kind of nice to see. Even though 38's not like anything specifically special, it would have just been really nice to just have seen. Sorry for blinding you guys there. Refresh a couple screens here. got hit. I got hit with the evil login page. It's just a few minutes. That's all it takes, like 10 minutes. All right. Let's try this again. Well, let's see how we're going to close this day out here. Vortex, what doing? %60.09% traded into the off exchange today. Ooh, look at the borrowed change amount. Switching at the last minute at the end of the day, showing us a big old borrowing amount, and that's awesome. It's not big, but it is more than negative of a return, so that's always a positive thing. So we went from negative 234,000 shares being returned to a 354.2 thousand share borrow for the day today so far. Estimated current short share interest of the free float is at 16.89% as a result of that. And looking at our options, highest level of options was at the $36 strike price. I would not be surprised if we try to run this up to $36 at the very end of the day here. You know, the long positions are going to want to see those, you know, those go into the money if possible. So what do we got here? Total volume was 66.8 thousand contracts an hour ago. It is now up to 73.5. And on the put side of things, at that $35 strike price, it was 20.5 an hour ago. It's now 23.9. According to Fidelity, AMC dropping from 9th to 10th position on most traded stocks in their for that brokerage, with 67% buys to 33% sales. GME's been on the list today for a lot. A lot of the day it's been on the list. Let's see here. Yep, still holding on. They're in 26th spot with 72% buys to 28% sales. It still doesn't look like they've borrowed any shares. Yep. No shares borrowed. So far, at this point in time, 7,000 contracts are in the money on the calls, 71,000 contracts out of the money on the puts, but a big old massive number right here for the out of the money calls. Yeah, you know the deal, guys. Don't be the player, be the house. Owning stock ownership is being the house. Way more valuable. Let's see what we got going on here with our market. Probably looking kind of nasty. Looks like we're ending the week down. NASDAQ is down 0.05%, Dow Jones is down 0.01%, and the S&P 500 is down 0.07%. Looked like the Dow Jones just went into the green. But there's definitely more decliners than advancers. There's 4,035 decliners to 3,061 advancers. Robinhood is down 1.72%. Amazon is down almost 3%, which is pretty big, considering that stock price. You know, that's $100 alone. Cinemark is down 4.35. Doge is down 3.5. GME is up 0.46, and we are down 0.16. Our inflow versus outflow. $32. Yeah, I think that's a 32-point spread. A 32-point spread resulting in basically breaking even in price. And we're going to hit about 30 million shares here any second, with approximately 40 minutes left to go. Yeah, let's just call it 35 minutes. We're on pace to hit 32.9 million shares. We'll probably be right around 32 by the time we close this out, unless we have a real big run right towards the end. Volume did spike up as we started to spike up in price right here, ever so slightly. My prediction for the day on volume was 10 to 30 million. I'm really wishing I had stuck 2040, but you know, whatever. I don't mind being slightly on the wrong side by being low. So 10 to 30 million, not bad considering that I was doing this all based off of 7 o'clock in the morning pre-market data, 7 o'clock my time, which is actually 8 o'clock Eastern time. So not bad. I'm okay with it. Well, this beer is potent today. You ever feel like sometimes the beers, like from one to the next, they're not always exactly the same in potency? Oh, I've heard that before, Eric, the golden ratio. I've heard that, and I'm not really sure. I am not 100% sure on that. Let me check and see. So I would assume that it would be a Fibonacci retracement of like probably the day. Right? So if we used let's see, Fibonacci. So let's see. I have to look it up because it's been a while. Golden ratio. 3 percentages, 38.2, 50, and 61.8. However, the multiples can be used when needed, such as 23.6. I'm gonna make these stand out like really large so I can see them. We'll come back down onto the 1 day. 35.16. $50. Okay, so let's see, where's 0 at? Why does it not have 0 on here? There's some jacked up Fibonacci numbers. Just kidding. 61.8% is right there. So we are at the 61.8% mark right now. If that's a support line that you're looking for, that price value would be $35.16. I'm not sure how you figured this out. I mean, we are at the 61.8 mark, which is the bottom side of the 100% mark, which should be the very top. Where is that? So there's 50, 38.2. So are we on the bottom side? It's so hard to see with all the other data that I have in here. I don't know. Write something back on there, Eric, if you don't mind, about the as far as the golden ratio goes. Like, what are you looking for as far as data goes? I mean, it looks to me like we're trading right about at that 61.8% mark there. Whether or not that's inside that golden ratio, I'm not entirely certain. Based on what I'm just kind of like roughly reading, it sounds like there's actually quite a lot of information in here about Fibonacci fans and Fibonacci arcs and retracements. So I'm not sure what it is you're looking for exactly, but if I zoom back out to the day, I have so much data on here that it's not even funny. You can kind of see, hopefully you can kind of see where we're at here. So we just traded, the pattern that we just completed, is basically between the 42 or the 50% and 61.8% marks on the daily pattern. So we're hitting like the bottom side of it, and we could be bouncing off of that if that's what you're suggesting. Which is kind of like the whole idea or the premise behind probably a lot of the charting that goes on. For example, like this one here. This was the January to June run up right here. And so if you look at this, I would identify this as being, I'd have to probably draw a Fibonacci retracement on this one too as well, so you can see where the lines draw up on or draw up at. And I would suggest you would probably see a line very similar to that here and down here, which means that we might see potentially a big run up after this. Like if we're in this section 4 that I have circled on the daily. So it's very possible that we just hit that support line at whatever value, $35.16. Seeing us close above that would probably be a really good thing. I'll leave it on there for now. I think I want to do a secondary toast. I think the secondary toast that I want to do today is to me winning a free beer for next week. JP, you and I are going to have to start talking. You need to get a hold of me. You can find me at user coldsteel_bop at Reddit or at coldsteelbop on Twitter, and we can figure out a way for you to pay up your dues. I hate losing, man. I hate losing. You can almost you probably have like a close to an 80% chance of losing if I choose to make a bet with you. If I choose to bet with you, you're more than likely to be you're an underdog, almost assuredly, because I won't. Very rarely will I make a bet that's where I need odds that are better than 60% in my favor. Send you an email. Man, my forms of being able to connect to me is Reddit and Twitter. No emails. Oh, I'll send you my junk email. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. Um, you tell me what beer you're gonna buy me. I'm gonna go out and see if I can't find it, and that way, when I drink it, it's the beer that of your choice. But I want it to be a beer that you like. It can't just be like some crap beer. Uh, you got to buy me a beer that's we didn't settle on this in advance, so you don't have to. But preferably I would like to drink a beer that's your favorite, because I want to taste a little bit of JP's bitterness. You don't want to bet me, JP. You just don't want to bet me, because more than likely, the odds are going to be in my favor. I won't make bets that I think I'm going to lose. Actually, that's not true. Entirely true. The bets that I make for beers every week on points, I don't mind losing those because I think it keeps everybody sharp, and I think it's fun. So it has to be the cheapest. Does that mean that you're not a beer drinker? What does that mean? Oh, and I just want you to notice, JP, that I did cheat a little bit. Um, you'll probably have to go back in the stream to see it, but I kept throwing my trampoline up so I could dodge your bullets, and it seemed to work pretty good. I just kept throwing it every place that it looked like they could attack the price down beyond 34.88, and it worked out. There is still 25 minutes left to go. You're absolutely right. I hope there is. I don't want you to feel like you're getting cheated out if they halted trading. All right, man. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Spend a lot of time with the family. You know the deal. Make life count. You as well, sir. You as well. I'm going through a bunch of different Reddit posts. People are getting funny here on the weekend. Like this one. Random Hero 666. I don't know. That's kind of stupid. Oh, 66611. They posted AMC had a 550% revenue increase over same quarter last year. Here's why that's terrible news and you should avoid the stock like a plague. And then they said, "Don't mind me just writing a journalist hit piece title for on AMC for them. At least I can spell and use proper punctuation. Bunch of 1% stooges." I, I so agree. I so agree. I can't wait to see next week after our earnings report. There's going to be, Motley Fool's going to come out with like why AMC is about to fail with a 550% revenue increase. Can't wait for it. Oh man. Like something, I'm by no means citing uh, violence or destruction or anything like that. But I think it would be absolutely hilarious if Citadel were to lose power to their systems, so they could no longer make trades. To just watch everything just stop. I know, of course, that would stop a lot of our trades from going through as well, but it would just kind of, I don't know, I find some humor in the idea that their systems could get shut down for a brief period of time and kind of see how much they would probably panic from that. Probably similarly to how we panic when we have YouTube go down or see Reddit go down or can't log into your broker. I think I better do a little more protection just in case. I don't I don't know what the future has to hold, but I know that this thing seems to have like magnetic powers. Um, yeah. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna set myself up some protection here. Anybody want to bet whether or not we see BRK-A have a little bit of fudgery of their numbers again? I think they may be done. I don't think it's going to happen again. I quite personally think that may have, like yesterday may have been the last time. Um, I mean, it decreased quite dramatically day over day. I can't believe Evergrande paid their debt right on time. I thought for sure they were going to default today. November Rain next month. Oh, that might be a good song to play. I could see Axl Rose giving me a copyright strike for that music, though. Thanks, Monty. I think you might have just helped me out with my song for next week. A little bit of Guns N' Roses. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's kind of funny. There's some of their music that has aged well, but there's other songs that you go back and you listen to of Guns N' Roses, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like I guess maybe visually they haven't aged very well. The music has probably done much better, but if you go back and you visually watch them as a group perform, I just doesn't it just doesn't age very well. I don't know. Like I'm more proud to have been a fan of Nirvana than I am proud to have been a Guns N' Roses fan. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but okay, I just looked up a website. So as far as the golden ratio goes, if it breaks two of the three, so let me go back to the day chart here real quick. So 1, 2, 3. The zero mounts at the very top, right? And so if you break down past the first one, which we did, 1, 2, and we broke past the third one, and we just where did the line go? Oh, it's hidden by the red line. I couldn't see it. I was like, I know there's another line. There it is. It just popped out. Okay. So all right, here we go. So 0's at the top. Gosh darn it, I just drug it. It's one of those days. I'm gonna have to delete it. And it won't let me. That's wonderful. I'm gonna have to do it on my phone. Give me a second, guys. Every once in a while, I run into this glitch to where it just will not let me delete something. And the only way I can get it to delete is to actually go to my phone. Wow, my phone's not even showing it. All right, I'm gonna close this out. Reopen. There we go. Okay, so as far as the golden ratio goes, like 0, 23.6, 30 point something, I can't really read them because they're so small right here, but essentially if we break 3 of these, and it just dragged it again. If we break 3 of these, I gotta lock this in place before I lose it. So here's a break of the first one, the second one, and we broke the third one. And so once we've broken that that third one, which we didn't quite do it today, right? Because it's going to actually close above that point. I would say that we didn't really quite break it, but we definitely tested it. You should have a push out or a breakout going back up, a reversal in the other direction pretty hard. So that's the golden rule that that I believe Eric was talking about. I mean, I pulled up a couple different websites and it's talking about Fibonacci retracement and doing the Fibonacci retracement. Usually you would do that on like your if you're trying to draw it from what you should draw it on is based off of your last run up. So from the lowest point to the highest point, which is what I've got done here. So no, later. Looks like I'll be rebooting the computer this weekend, guys. Yay. So basically your 50% line falls in at 42.22 and 45.08. At least that's what I'm getting. And if you're getting something slightly different than that, let me know. But I mean, based on what this is saying, 61.8 is that crossing line, right? And we crossed it back here. We crossed that 61.8% right here, right? And then shot back up through at least one supporting line after that, came back down and it held as a line of resistance, and then we came back down into. I got to get rid of this other stuff. I can't see. This is too much noise. And then we held. Damn it, my lines are all jacked up. We held this line as a line of support now. So we've fallen back down into this channel essentially. And so I think what you're talking about as far as the golden rule goes is that, this should, if it does break out or go down to this level, that we should have a correction going back up because it's holding as a level of support. And so we should see a movement heading back up in the other direction here, which strongly supports essentially that the same exact a couple different things, right? Like the Wyckoff theory, the Hilbert sine wave, all those things kind of work around, I think in a roundabout way, kind of work around the Fibonacci golden rule pattern. And so what I have right here is that, the step number 4 that we're in right here, this is January to June run up on the daily calendar. And now we're looking at the run up in from June to current. And we would be in the step 3 to 4, right? The third uptrend and then the fourth downtrend. So we should be seeing, with this level of support at 61.8%, we should see a level of support there and kind of a bounce off of that, heading into that run up on the fourth run up within the pattern. So, yeah, I mean, I don't remember what your original question was. Let me go back and look at it. Are we in the golden ratio? So yeah, I would say yes. I think we're inside of it. I don't think it's going to happen that fast because you got to remember that we're looking at the day charts, right? And so when I scroll out to the day like this, the swing back upwards here is not going to be, as fast as you would think. Step 4 right here, on the January to June run up, that step, this line's not in the right spot. That step took us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. On the 13th day, we started getting big run-ups. So it might take, like, if we're in the bottom side of this pattern right here, you could take us like up to 2 weeks worth of momentum before we even kind of get to that point to where we have good breakouts. And I feel like 2 weeks. I know 2 weeks ago I was sitting there telling you guys that we were about 2 weeks away from seeing big price increases, and it just didn't happen as fast as I thought it would. So, anyways, we're getting close to the beginning of our weekend here, guys, and more than anything, I want you to eat, sleep, drink, get your mind healthy, be psychologically prepared for next week. Even if it's a good week, it's still going to be stressful on us. It always is. They always find a way to make it stressful. So, just get yourself prepared, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, and more than anything, don't have a good day. Have a great day.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
You sound good.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Second, negative return.
To put out my favorite part, I am dying in the way. Take a look at our towers, never trust in their lies. Sipping left in the booze, only belly sings to me. All fixed up on with me, keep on tripping it away. I am myself, I'm not myself, I'm not dead and I'm not for sale.
And one thing that I've come to believe is that technology can bring greater access to our capital markets. Our central question is this, though. When new technologies come along and change the face of finance, as they have done for decades, how do we continue to achieve our core public policy goals? In my role, I will always be animated by thinking about working families in the SEC's three-part mission: protecting investors, promoting fair, orderly, and efficient markets, facilitating capital formation.